Hello ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to Hydroneer with myself, Oswald Lyric Riveter. We're just making some changes today. I've ended up starting a new game because I got annoyed with my last one. Just simply because I didn't have enough gardener tokens to do stuff that I wanted to do until I figured a few things out. I could have just kept it, but never mind. But I've made some improvements and my claim looks awesome. So this time around, rather than using the press for softening the land up and making it all the same level, I've used the rake. Just simply because I noticed that the press didn't really get the level that I wanted. So rather than messing around with it, I decided that I'd do it all by hand, just so I'd simply get the level that I wanted specifically. Then I went on to thinking about other things, and I then decided that I'd purchase some more blocks so that I could build this monstrosity. So bear with me 2 seconds, I'll show you. So I now have this platform here where I've got a walkway up, I've got a conveyor belt system underneath my repair system that's supplied by its own water feed that goes into the repair centre, where I have the pipe system set up with my logic system. So the logic goes up and around. I know I could probably take out them 2 pipes and bring it down, but hey ho, it's not really a major big deal. I've got 2 lights on it, and I've built myself a large platform around the outside of it using this stone boulder as a reference marker for my entire build. Now, on my previous build, I used to make the staircase 4 wide, and then I noticed that I had an extra space that I just didn't need, so in the end I cut it down to 3, and instead I've got 3, 1 for the conveyor belt and 2 for the staircase. And you go down, and inside this room is this lovely monstrosity. Now you're going to look at this and think, what the hell have you done? Well, basically the lights are behind the wall with window blocks with the light. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? I absolutely adore this build. It's probably like the best build that I've done so far in this game, and I really like it. I've spent a lot of time processing it all and getting it done. I need to find my hammer wherever it's gone. And then I've built this over here for my water, where I've got a couple of watering cans that I purchased so I can grow food. It's a bit of a pain. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it, but I've got all my seeds there. I've now got all the seeds. I've got the seed grinder there. The idea was actually building a platform around it where the watering cans could go round and they'd get fed water automatically for me, but unfortunately it didn't quite work out the way I was intending it to, and unfortunately the idea didn't really pan out, and unfortunately it didn't fill up with water. So I was trying to actually automate watering cans, and I know you're probably going to go, what the hell, why would you try and automate watering cans? Where on earth did I put my bloody hammer? This, oh my god, like every time I move. What was I doing with my hammer the last time I was playing this game? I can't even remember. I know I was over here somewhere, because that's all like I'm forever losing my hammer. It's starting to take shape a bit. I might have to go buy a new hammer. I wanted to show you what I've done with the walls, and I just simply can never find that hammer. Right, I think we'll go buy another hammer so I can just show you. So I bought loads and loads and loads and loads of lights. I'm gonna end up making and building this space a bit bigger. So I've completely redesigned the inside as well, so it's slightly bigger in space, which means I get to line 3 of those up with one of those without being cut off from being able to make stuff, because I noticed when it was too close to the window I couldn't actually put bars in it. So I've just opened the space up, and I'm going to have those billboards over here, so I've got all my orders on that. I'm going to turn that into a doorway because I intend to make another factory where I basically do and sort food, and then I can automate all that. That's why I've got that building level there. That's just going to start it off, and then I'm going to have a couple of rows of farming area, which is all going to be automated, so the food will go in, get cut up and split off, and one side will get turned into seeds, the other side will get turned into food. That'll all then get sorted and blah blah blah. They'll also have a conveyor belt system so I can load the food on. It can also like load the seeds and stuff like that for me. I've seen it in another video, and I'm working out my own little idea and plan, which we won't do in this video, we'll do in the next, because I need to. A lot of the orders that I've got so far are actually for Cloutium and core stone, so I need to get tier 2 set up very quickly. I've got enough Cloutium to get the 30 drills, so I've taken it down from 48 drills because I thought 48 drills is a lot. And I've also diminished the lag as well, so I figured out how to work out the lag. So a lot of you, I've noticed, have this build where, so if I show you my build, I've basically sat down with a piece of paper and I've made a map of the floor plan that I want. So a pipe comes in through that wall, comes straight down. A pipe will come underneath here, where there's a long stretch of pipe coming around here and through the back of here and around here and tees off into here, and then comes off into here, goes round, and this is going to be my staircase going down. So it's again 3 wide, so you know, conveyor belt going down and the staircase going down to tier 2. Then I've got the water being fed by these 4 boxes here, the 4 shard boxes. You're probably wondering why 4. Well, 1 for the first line of drills here, 2nd for the conveyor belt and drills, next one is conveyor belt and drills, next one is just conveyor belt. Because these are all T-pipes feeding into this, they're all T-pipes feeding into this, T-pipes feed into this, and then straight pipes feeding into the conveyor belt. Then I've got an up coming into the harvester, and then a conveyor belt underneath the harvester feeding off. And then what I've done is at the very last harvester I've got the disc cutter, so it cuts the ores straight away. So all of the like jewels, gems, will get cut by that straight away. It then turns a corner and gets straightened up, so that when it reaches the end of the line it's already done, rather than waiting until it gets all the way up here and then gets cut. And then all I've done is I've leveled it off again, so by the time it gets up the top, before it starts getting sorted through my little sorting plant here, it's getting realigned and re-pushed back into place. I've also then made a 2x2 walkway through the whole plant. So I've got iron, then I've got my ruby, I've then got my gold, I've then got my emerald, 2 spaces. I've then left this one for when I need to make my orders up. I've then got my shards, and then I've got another one where I do again my orders. So when I'm doing all my orders and making like cutting up gems and stuff, I can just process that quickly. I then go into here. I've then got my sapphire, cloutium, and then I've got the onyx, and then this is the core stone. I've then left a 2-bar gap so that I can have a little walkway up, so that I can then get into here with a door system at the back, and then there's a door system up front so I can get in and out. I haven't put the roof on yet, just haven't had the time. I've also then set up outside the back of here, so I've set up like a little walkway and like a few stairs and stuff. And then what I've done is I've set up a button system or a lever system for the water, and all it does is it goes underneath here, goes straight into this, which then shuts off the water supply. And I've done that before. I've just found my hammer, brilliant. So, I've done that specifically before the repair centre, so that when I want to shut the water off, it doesn't use my repair centre. If you shut the water off after the repair centre, you will still be using the repair centre, if you understand that. So you need to shut the water off before the repair centre, otherwise the repair centre will still carry on repairing nothing, because these will still take damage when the water's running through it, even though the rest of your plant is shut down. So if you had it, say, on this pipe here or further down, that repair centre will still be repairing these water filters while the water's running through it. So you shut it down before, so no water can come through this pipe, which means these things are not taking any damage. And this conveyor belt system, all it is I've just basically made 1 block down, put the conveyor belt system on top, and all I do is I basically add tools to the conveyor belt system. And that then turns around the conveyor belt system and just keeps going round and round and round in circles for me. And all that does is it gives me the opportunity of loading 10 boxes, 10 sets of tools on that, which then keeps them all at 20. So even though I've got 20 on there already in each one, I've also got another 10 sets of toolboxes on top to stop that from diminishing any further. And I can load it up as many as I want, really, because there's 5 spaces, there's 12 spaces altogether that I can dump tools on, so I can put 12 sets of tools on there. I've also got a light system set up outside here as well. All this will be moved. I'm also putting these here, so I've got tier 1, tier 2, and I'm going to get another one for tier 3. I've just found my hammer, so I'm going to show you this light system, because I don't know how I came up with it, I really don't, but do you know what, I love the idea. I've still got to do more of it, but all I did, if I open up the side of it a second, all I've done is I've carved out a 2-block window inside where I basically point the light out, and all it does is the light is now hidden behind the wall, because I wanted light all around the outside of it, specifically so that it would light the room up in a manner that I liked. And I was going to put those little tiny 1x1 blocks on and put them on top, and then I thought I'm just going to keep constantly walking into them and getting trapped by them. I want space. I want to be able to walk around freely without walking into stuff and like getting annoyed by it. And on top of that, I'd have one here as well, so I'd have to have lights going down here, and it just I wouldn't be able to walk down this 2x2 step without getting trapped by lights. So all I've done was I carved out the walls, and this is a 22, so it's 22 that way and it's 12 this way. And I've also then dumped stone on the top, so it's literally all caked in stone. So I've got the whole thing caked in stone, and I've also done the ins and outs of everything. So I've surrounded that by stone, you know, I've surrounded all this by the conveyor belts by stone. Everything is literally caked in stone, just to make it look a little bit more, I think, in my own way, it looks so much better. Now I'm going to bridge this off eventually, so when the conveyor belt system comes down a notch, it's going to carry on going down a notch. And the idea being is that I'm probably going to level this off at some point when I get round to doing it. So my idea of today's exercise is getting down to tier 2. I want to be able to get down to tier 2 so that I can carry on building what I need to build and getting those better prospect tokens. And also what I've done here as well is I changed the symbol on the lever so that it highlights water for me. And what I want another one over here, because the idea is I want to be able to shut that down or keep that running, and also have water supply for inside here. Because the problem I've got now is that it's all very well that I've got this water system here for my whole entire inside. The point of the matter is this lot in here needs to be a separate water supply. So I'm going to at some point set up another water supply that runs underneath here, probably coming through here and running inside the plant, because I need a different water supply for inside the room. And the reason being is because when I want to eventually, I want to hit that button so it shuts off my repair centre, shuts off the water system to the conveyor belt, but I can still process everything in here. So when I need to start making stuff in here and I've shut the rest of it off, I can still use this lever here. I can either just separate the water supply for this and just make its own water feed for this, which is possible, which is exactly what I want to do, and then the rest of it being set up by the other feature. So what I might actually do is section the rest of it off, so the whole of this plant in here is supplied by that water supply outside, but that one compressor here is set up so it's fed by its own water system, which I could in fact attach to this water system here. So this will still spin round, and that one compressor inside will still spin just by having this set up here. So I might attach it to this water supply system when I finally get round to upgrading, because at the moment I've got lots and lots and lots of prospect. I mean, I've got 1,354 gardening tokens and 10,000 prospect tokens. I've got my map in the back of the van, so I constantly know where all the little quests are, and then I've got all my missions over here, and I've got 2 that I can do now. And all I need to do is just make a couple of things that I can run off, because what I'm doing is trying to build these garden tokens so I can get sprinkler up and running quickly, because I spend a lot of time trying to get all the seeds. So I now own one of every seed. There's lots of them here, and all I do is I grow enough plants and then I turn them into seeds. So for things like beetroot and all that, like at the moment I'm not actually making anything in beetroot, because I need to earn 300 beetroot and broccoli so I can fulfill one mission, and that's because I want the harvester, and I also want to get the sprinklers set up. and also like the sorting plant, because I need a lot of the tokens for the sorting plant. And as I've said, I've already like sectioned off this area here. So in my previous videos I had like a level system where I almost struggled to get up this bank because it was too low, and it was annoying because I kept having to jump to be able to get onto this piece of land here. Whereas now I just came over and literally just took the rake, found an evil level and just done that, and now I can walk in and out perfectly. And I started by actually, like, I noticed with the doorway as well. On my previous video I had to jump in through the doorway and I kept getting trapped by something, and it was annoying. Every time I came to the doorway I got trapped. So I fixed that by literally making the doorway the first step. So I built a staircase going down. Rather than having the staircase starting at the door, I just made it a doorway where I've got the platform and then I'm going down. And then I made the platform going around. So the drills are on the bottom level with the conveyor belts on the bottom level, and then everything gets pushed up. That's what the ups are all about. So the resources are going up and then into the harvester and dropping back down. So those drills are literally on the bottom level. They can't go any lower, and I've basically flattened off everything. And then I basically built the platform system, and underneath this, I mean, everything is not even underneath this, I will admit, but most of the stuff behind is. I mean, I've got a couple of straggler parts, like you can see up in that corner there. There's a bit of dirt and stuff, but I've knocked everything into place. It looks brilliant, I like it, it's done. So and at some point I'm going to start housing out the area, and the way I do it is I simply put a wall up, and then I basically knock the wall to shreds, and I use the rake to even things up a bit. So here I will do the same thing again. So this is the top step, and then I'm going to go down. So this will be the top step, and then basically I'm going to make a step here and then step down. So I don't even need to cut this bit here, because this whole entire bit here I won't need to cut, or shouldn't need to cut. I might need to cut this bit in here for the up, but I very much doubt it, because yeah, I probably will actually, saying that, because like the up will be too high. But it wouldn't be an issue. I mean, I could run like the water system down, and then that might kind of fix the problem with the up and down bit, because the up will go up and then it will drop onto this conveyor belt, which might be a bit better. But we'll see when we get down to the bottom step. We'll see how many steps it takes us to get down there, and then we'll see what the room's like at the bottom. The idea is building this room underneath, so the next room is going to be literally underneath this one. I'm hoping. The plan in my head is to get this one sitting underneath. So tier 2 will literally be sat directly underneath this room. And then for tier 3, it's going to be almost the same thing. And once tier 3 set up, the only thing we need to do is set up fishing and a house, because I've yet to build a house, and I want to level off the land as well. So I've only got like 4 achievements left before I can start playing with mods and stuff. I've only got to do the fishing, I've got to get the best like fishing pole, and I've got to grow loads and loads of veg, and I need to get the the harvester. So I think there's only like 3 left. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. I think there's 3. I think I'm on 47 out of 51. I can't remember what the other one's all about, but I'll find out. Because once I've earned all the achievements, then I can start playing creative mode and start creating even better things inside. which might be better for the idea that I've got, but to be fair, I'd kind of want to do it with the build that I've got now, because I don't see the point of overloading yourself on drills. Yes, okay, lots and lots of drills is a good thing, but it's not like you really need them. I've got 30 drills down here, and I've made 5,000 Cloutium in possibly about an hour. And all the blocks that I'm getting, because they're on the bottom level, like they're quite big. They're like 2.5 gram blocks per piece. So, and I've got a lot. I've got about 2.5 million gold. You know, it's just a redonkulous amount of gold. You just don't need it. So the idea being is that I'm going to have 3 sets of drills set up. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Don't really need its own sorting area. It's pointless. You just need one sorting area that sorts all of the resources out. And all you really need to do is set it so that it cuts the gems for you before going off, because the gems will keep you lagging out. And you want harvesters at the end of each line as well, because I noticed that if you just had one harvester, say here, and you just pushed it all to here and then did an up, and said I had a harvester here, for instance, or even here, or you'd have to have the harvester here, because that would need to be an up. So then the harvester will spit the resources on here. If you just had that, you'd have all of this ore going into here first, and the more ore you've got, the more dirt, the more lag you've got. So, and that would be your problem with the lag situation. And you want to diminish any idea of lag. So you want to diminish the idea of lag, because you want to be able to play the game, and this is why I've built it the way I have done, because I want to diminish because with 48 drills I had some chronic amount of resources coming up and constantly having problems with things getting stuck in here. And that's where you're going to get the lag from, is when resources build up, and that's when you have the problem. Now I've noticed in a friend, there's a guy I follow on YouTube. He has a button system where he can turn off each different belt system, which is something that I was considering, having a logic system set up that will be able to turn off tier 2, tier 3 and tier 2 water supply, as well as controlling the entire plant. But it's a lot of work. I mean, that would mean I'd have to dig out most of this wall and bring 3 sets of logic pipes down through the wall, or possibly even having to dig up some of this out here and then plumbing it in that way and having it come through. And I'd probably have to like take my floor up, and I'd have to have the first one coming in here to switch off the water supply around here, and then I'd have to run the second one underneath here, which I'd struggle with because of this, and that's the problem. So the other 2 would have to run down through here. So the only way I could feed it in is by going through the back of this wall here, which means I'd have to cut through all of this, which means I'd have to level all of this off and then cover that with stone. So I'd have to put a 2-way walkway around the outside of here until I get to that point where I'm comfortable with where it's going, which isn't a bad idea, don't get me wrong, it's not. But the problem is I'd have to extend this, so I'd have to put this out a bit more so I can get it to go around, so the pipe work can go in and get fed in. And the point is that I'd have to make that at least 3 wide, because the first one would have to come through this wall here. So I'd almost have to come through this wall here to get that first pipe to come in to turn off the water here, and then have a pipe. I'd have to then add another button system over here for tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3, which would be an absolute monumental headache, but not difficult to set up and not something that I'm not going to do. It's a good idea, it really is, because if you're having problems, you can set, you control whether you have tier 1 on or tier 2 or tier 3. You can turn one off and turn the other one off and then turn the other one off. But just remind yourself, it's a lot of pipe work, and you know, it's all very well having the pipe work running around the outside the room. Yeah, fair enough. It's quite a good idea. It's not a bad idea. I could have the pipe work coming through here and then banding down and blah 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 blah. But I don't want to see the pipes. You may want to see them, but I don't. No. Well, that's why I've hidden everything off, so I don't have to see it. But the idea now is I need to run off and get some parts so that I can switch the water supply off to this pipe in here. So the idea is I want to be able to switch one of these pipes here off so that, well, mind you, I need to figure out where it's actually coming in. If I remember rightly, the water system's actually coming through this wall here, so I need to really think about switching. Oh no, I don't. No, I've only got to set up a water system that goes underneath, so if I T-junction this pipe here, I could then band it off. Where's that hammer gone? Ugh. There it is. Oh god, I'm forever walking into things. So if I could T-pipe that so it goes underneath, but then have to bend underneath and then come round and go through here instead, which isn't a bad idea. It's still going to be hidden away by this, so I could have it stretching around and then just come through here and in there straight over to here, and then that has its own pipe work, which means all I need to do is put a bend on that, which means that will then can be all the pipe work over here that's feeding this could be changed, or I'll just keep it silver. It's not really a major deal. I'd prefer to keep it gold, but there's not, I don't really want to speed up this conveyor belt, if I'm honest. There's no need for me to speed that conveyor belt up. Maybe possibly later, but the idea being is that I want to be able to turn everything else off, because at some point I'm going to have a lot of iron coming through here, and if I kick that over here while iron is being processed, I'm going to have a problem where iron's going to get to here and not fall in, and it's just going to get stuck. So I want to be able to turn the water off before I kick these, because a lot of resources are coming in, but I also want to be able to process everything else. Possibly the better idea would have been having the button system inside here. Would have been a lot easier, I would say. So at some point I might just move the button system, the whole entire thing, inside here, so I've then got a lever that I can just, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have it hidden in this wall here, considering this wall's actually doing bugger all. So I could actually have it running in here. I could then switch off the water here very, very quickly, and it's done. It wouldn't be an issue. It basically means I could get rid of that wall, this first one here, and just have the two of the buttons here. So I could switch off the water supply for this pipe going down, and I could also switch off the water for the rest of the plant, or just have one. It doesn't really matter. I could get rid of all of it and just keep them all in here, to be fair, because it would be probably a damn sight lot easier having the button system for tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 and the sorting area all together. But the sorting area is not really the problem anyway, so the sorting area is not really going to be the problem. It's just the water for the rest of the plant. So if I'm honest, it'd be a better thing for me to switch off the water supply for the whole pipe system, to stop obviously the repair kicking in, and also switching off tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And I can do that on this little bridge here because there's plenty of space to do it, because I've only got to have the logic running underneath and coming into here, so I can have the pipe work just running straight underneath through the wall into here, and then it coming up and somehow just banding off here. The only issue from there is how I would then address the issue with the pipe work coming out. So I'd probably have to dig underneath here again. I might possibly be able to feed it underneath these, but we'll see. I'll see if I can stretch that out and I can then put the button system over here. I think that would be a really good option. So I mean, I've left my cards open for different ideas and different things. If I just got rid of, say, some of this lot, I could possibly have the lever system on top, so I could take these down to like a singular wall, so it's the same height as that, and then address the issue that way, because then the button's just coming out and I could use like a corner, an elbow, and then the buttons are going to be here, and it's not going to really get in my way that much. The only other option is to face them the opposite direction, so that it would almost be the only bit that's there is just the lever, so I'm not going to really run into anything, considering. So I mean, I've got my options there, so I'll probably do that at some point, but for now I'm going to start grabbing bits, and we're going to have to figure out how many platforms I'm going to need for this room, because we need to buy parts for it. So we're going to bugger off to Ice Helm, so we can buy. Oh, where's my monies? I've only got 82 grand, but I've got about 3 million's worth of gold that I can use at some point. I've got my markings for my missions. I've done all the stuff for finding the hidden treasures and stuff. But right, so what we want to do is figure out this floor space. Probably better off if I just buy everything I need for the whole entire floor space and then figure shit out after that. There's still a lot that I need to buy. I haven't brought the drills yet, or made them, but I like the stone, so everything's going to be layered in stone. The only difference being is the factory floor will be slightly different colour. I'm thinking probably wood, and I'm thinking about building it in a different way as well, so rather than it's going to have like almost a flat roof. I just want something different from the main factory, because the main factory's got like a peaked roof, and then I want almost like an up roof and then a flat top, but I'm not sure. I've seen how it works out. I was almost going for like a greenhouse effect for that, because I think possibly even making a greenhouse. So I need some of these. I want 5 of them. Because I've yet to buy them for that. So if I get 5 of these very quickly. And then I need to figure out how many floor tiles I'm going to need, because I'm going to need the roof. So where's my pesky pen gone now? What have I done with my pen? Oh, it's here. So floor L walls LS windows, and I don't need doors. What else is there to buy? Staircases. Do I need stairs? Yeah, I'm gonna need stairs. I'm gonna need 8 stairs. And that's about it. Yeah, so this time, because it's a 14, so that's 1 there, 2 there, 3, so I'm still gonna need 3. So 3, 6, that's going to be 6 of those plus 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5. So that's going to be 5, 5, 5, 5. That's 10. So that's 16 windows. So I'm getting 16 window ones, 8 stairs. I'm then going to need to think about working out the floor plan. So the roof is going to be what, 1, 2, 3, so that's 11 by 7. So that's 77 plus let's work this out a second, because it's probably going to be the same thing, or literally the same thing. Oh god, get off. If I have it the same way I did my previous plant, but in almost a different way. Yeah, that's going to come over to there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because the rest of it is going to be, so this is going to be, I'm guessing this is going to be the harvester. That's going to be the up. Yeah. So they're going to be, so 4 small tiles per times 3. And then that's going to be convoy, 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 convoy. Oh, I'm going to need a lot of small tiles. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Why 15? 16. I think I've worked this out wrong. Yeah, I have. Donut. Yeah, I have. How on earth did I work this out in my head? I've almost screwed that up. That's a convoy, you numpty. So that's convoy, convoy, convoy and convoy. So all these are actually convoy belts. You donut. Yeah. It wasn't supposed to be, but never mind. That was supposed to go round the corner. Yeah. I can't believe I've just done that. I just screwed up my floor plan for tier 2. Oh dearie me. Give me 2 minutes, I'm going to work this out. So that's 22. So the idea in my head is that I want yeah, there we go. That's exactly how I wanted it. I've got it in my head now. So like with my previous one, I wanted it to go downstairs, hit the bottom floor, and then band off. Because I wanted it 4 or 5, no 6, sorry. Is it 6? No, because that would be the end one, so that would be 1 and then 2 for the walkway, 2 and then the convoy, so it's going to be 6. Yeah, that's it. Right, I've figured it out again. Good. So if I count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And what I might do is I might just take to Affinity at some point and I'll draw these floor plans out on Affinity and then I can share them through my Dropbox. And then that way, for future reference, if anyone wants the floor plans for South Hope, the actual, and I can also give you like what you need for each floor and what you actually need for the processing plant, what you'll need for the how much pipe work you're going to need and all that lot. So, and then if you want to extend it, you can, if you want to build onto it or whatever. I mean, literally the only thing that I don't really fix in my whole plant is the ceiling, because I noticed that if you fix the ceiling, when you put the floor tiles and flip them upside down, so I need to come in by 6. 1, 2, there you are, there's 6. So that's gonna be, oh god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, there we are, there's 6. So these are going to be convoys here. That's going to be a convoy system up to possibly around here. And this is going to be my walkway down to here. There we are. Look at that. That's going to be my floor plan. And in fact, I can take that one down to there, possibly. I don't know yet. No, in fact, I'm going to have it to there. Oh shit. Right, move to here, because that's going to be my staircase, and all this is going to be convoy and convoy. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so that's large, small. There's going to be 2 small tiles with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. The 7, 5 is 21, so that's 21 small tiles. Plus 21. With that being in mind, they're all going to be... So this is going to be a harvester, that's going to be an up, that's going to be an up and a harvester, and then there's going to be a 2 gap marker, so that's going to be the up and a harvester, so that's going to be a convoy. So there we go. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to be a shard box. Shard box. Shard box. Convoy, 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 convoy. So all these are convoys. And then all the pipework's going to go around this room here. Brilliant. But the drills are going to be somewhere along here, so I'm probably going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 extra on. Well, that's going to be a large tile. I can put 2 large tiles in there, so that's a +2. And then this one's going to be, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's an extra 5 small floor tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, plus 14 small tiles. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh shit. Plus 2, plus 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 4. Plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 2. There we go, that's the oh, okay, thank you very much. Plus the inevitable. Let's get rid of them in a second. Right. So I need 21, 2, 5, 14, 2, 2 and 2, so that's 48 small tiles. Floor, small, 48. Large, so 11 times 7 is 77, plus 6, 2, 8, 4, 11 and 6, that's 114. Then walls, this is going to be fun, because I'm going to have to figure out how many. I might have to come back for those, because once I put the drills in place then I'll know how much I'm going to need for those. Because I want to hide everything off, you see, but I don't know how I'm going to pull that off like I did with the previous one, so it might have to be slightly different in variation. it's probably going to be hiding that bit, hiding that bit, and hiding that bit, and possibly leaving everything else out. So yeah, we'll figure that out at a later date. Right. Well, it's actually going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the small floor is going to be 6, 7, 8 plus 2. And then it's going to be 1, I know, 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to need another 6. 7, 8, 9. So that's 3 more. And then from here we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, 7, and then it's going to be yeah, so 7, 14, 14, 21, 28. It's going to be 28 plus 4, 12 plus 12. And then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 2 times 3 plus 36. So that's going to be an interesting build. Right, plus 12, 28, 3, 6, 2, 6. So that's going to be 93 small wall tiles, windows, stairs. We've already got the staircases already. So we're going to have 16 windows. So the rest of it is going to be, let's think about this now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 11 plus 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be times 2, so that's 34. And then on this side it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 4 plus 7 times 2, which is 18. So 18 plus 34 is 52. But then I'm going to need probably, I'm going to say another, so it's going to be probably another 30. So it's going to be 82. There we go. Perfect. So we've got what we need. So I'm actually going to need 82 of these. Yeah, I know it's a lot. I can get 16 per time. Feel free to fast forward.
Huh? Huh?
And then what we'll do, we'll head back, because I'm going to use all these as markings.
Huh?
To make all the housing out of it all much easier. It's a lot of shopping. So that's how many. Right. So I'm starting with the large walls first, which is 82. I've just got 16. Oh dearie me, I can't get through. Oh dearie me, I can't get through. Oh dearie me, I can't get in there. Oh dearie me. There we go.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Right, so I've now figured that bit out. I'll need to get some lights as well, so how many lights do I need? Light. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, it's 5, isn't it? So it's 10. It's 16, you donut, because it's the same as the windows. Excuse me a second. Didn't even need to figure that bit out. I just needed to do some brain power. You'll have to excuse me, I've not been awake that long.
Huh? 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 Huh?
Oh, just get on the floor.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
I'm wondering if I could actually sample that and put it in a track. Put it in my next one. The Hydroneer song.
Huh?
Alright, chap. That'd be quite amusing. No, I don't want one of them. Bloody hell. Another 16. Takes me down to 50. Right. Yeah, you're probably better off just skipping forward, or I'll end this video and just start again when I've got to it. Because I don't see the point of boring the hell out of you with all of this. I wouldn't want to watch through it myself. I mean, each to their own, but... yeah, I think that might be a good idea actually. What I'll do, I'm going to dash off, so what I'll do, when I'm back at the claim, when I've got everything I need, and we're going to be digging out, or when it's like all dug out, I'll come back and I'll start the next video. So I'll get it all housed out first, because I think that might be, or I might start it when I've got to the last bit of the housing out process, so you can see how I do it all. I'll do it on like maybe the last corner bit, so then you can see it all being done, and then what we'll do is we can come back and then you can see everything in play, which I think will be much nicer for you, to be fair. I'm just thinking of you guys really specifically, because I don't want to bore the hell out of you with this bit. So what I'll do, I'll come back in a bit and I'll show you what I've done. Alright, I'll see you in a bit.